I've been reflecting a lot on the word wait today as I am in a waiting season for my health. Just some different things that are showing up with my heart that I'm not sure what's going on quite yet. Test results are coming back, but nothing conclusive yet, and it's just a waiting game. Waiting for what it's all going to reveal, and waiting for what the next step is, waiting for what the summer's going to look like with this, and just in that waiting pattern. So I've been reflecting today on just who are those people in the Bible, God, who waited. Because in the waiting, I want to be patient. In the waiting, I want to have peace. In the waiting, I want to trust you. In the waiting, I don't want to fear. In the waiting, I don't want to have any anxiety. In the waiting, I want to know that you will be faithful because that's who you are. That's your character. You are consistently faithful. And during the waiting, if I keep my eyes on you, I know that there is goodness coming. And so I reflected on this, or have been reflecting on this today, and the passage Psalm 27, 13, and 14 came to mind, where it says, "What would have become of me had I not believed that I would see the Lord's goodness in the land of the living?" I trust that somewhere on the other side of all this, I'm going to see God's goodness prevail. I'm going to see it revealed. I'm going to see him come through in a way that is going to leave me dumbfounded. Because I know in the history of my life with the Lord, he can be trusted. I know that when it comes to someone being constant for me, God has been constant. I know the one who's never, ever failed me. Even though his timing is a little bit different than my own, I know that I can trust God. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know that I will see goodness in the land of the living once again, beyond this waiting season. But as I wait, I get a choice to look that way, or in the waiting to have fear and trepidation and think, oh no, God, what's coming, what's coming? And the enemy, that's his territory. That's where he wants me, because if my eyes are on the what ifs, if my eyes are on what could go wrong or what could fail or what's the next step or how far into the future am I going to have to work through this, like, that's where the enemy wants me, because it keeps me paralyzed. It keeps me from moving forward. It keeps me from being everything that God has called me to be in this season. Even in the waiting, there's a position to be taken. My position is to trust. My position is to say, okay, God, whatever, whenever, whoever, whatever you got, I'm standing faithfully before you, knowing that you've got my future, and there is goodness coming in the land of the living. That's what I count on. And then in 14 it says, wait and hope for and expect the Lord. Be brave and of good courage, and let your heart be stout and enduring. Yes, wait for and hope for and expect the Lord. Wait and hope are together in this verse, like twice you see it. Wait and hope. Hope is this eyesight beyond the experience, this looking beyond what is happening and going, God, I can hope beyond this because I know you're beyond this. I know that you are good. I know that you are faithful. So I choose to wait, expecting that you will come through again. And it says, be brave and of good courage, and let your heart be stout and enduring. There's a steadfastness that can be exhibited and experienced in the waiting. Not because I have anything in me that is, worth it, but because he's worth it. He's worth it. Whatever he's developing in this season, whatever characteristic trait, whatever thing he is burning out of my being, that's like, this is not who Sarah's going to be for her future. Whatever it is going to be worth it. Because there's nothing that God does that doesn't have purpose. He's got a purpose in all things. So as I wait, I choose to trust. And one of the things that I do when I'm going through a season like this is I create a music list with songs that just continuously help me reflect back on the Lord and his goodness and his faithfulness. So my song list right now that I'm putting together is I choose to trust. I choose to trust God no matter what the outcome. I choose to trust God no matter what the tests will show. I choose to trust God no matter what the doctors will say. I choose to trust God because God is good. Circumstances don't have to be good for God to be good. I know that he is faithful because I've seen him be faithful in my past. And I know that his character doesn't change. My circumstances don't change his character. He didn't abdicate the throne and go, oh, whoever wants to hop on and take control of things. He is still there. He's still on the throne. There's order to my life even when it feels disorderly. There's order even when it feels a little messy. And there's a message coming from this very messy season. This moment of waiting will have significance because he's a God that prevails. A God who knows me, who sees me, who loves me as I am and says, Sarah, I see the future you. I see where you're going, and everything happening in this season is to get you where you're going. What is it you're facing right now? What is it that you're waiting on? Can you trust that God will see you through? Can you keep your eyes on the goodness of God through this season? Can you know that he will be faithful, that his goodness is in the land of the living? Get your eyes off your circumstances. Stop letting them define who you are or where you're going to go or what you're going to do in your day, and start telling your circumstances, this is who my God is. Put the stake in the ground. Remember that he's been faithful to you. Go back and look at your life and over and over again tell yourself, where did God show up? In the heat of the moment, when those things, those circumstances you faced were so excruciating, where did God show up? How did he show up? What did he refine and define in you so that you could be more like him and his son, Jesus? Because that's the goal, to look more like Jesus with every passing day. And if going through tough circumstances, if going through the trials of life and waiting on God is what produces that character, then I'm all in. I want it because I want to be more like Jesus. When I get to the end of my life, I hope there's nothing left of Sarah Beth Malinowski. I hope that God burned all of the riffraff away. I hope that he burned away every insecurity, every prideful thing inside of me, every selfish and unkind thing within me. I hope that when I see my Father face to face, he can tell me, you look so much like my son. And every trial you went through burned away just a little bit more of you and put just a little bit more of my son in you. That's what I want. I hope you want it too. Because being more like Jesus is the goal. And through this hard season, whatever you're facing, you can trust that he's got a plan and his plan will prevail.